Hello and welcome to this session. In this session, we will be creating the next part which will take us to our assembly, that is the fixed jaw. Now for creating fixed jaw, as we can clearly notice, first step is to understand the drawing, what we have over here in front of us. We can clearly see some familiar values like 88 and 32 and 32, which we have already done in the previous sessions. Okay, so if you haven't watched the video of the previous session, I would recommend you to please go and watch the creation of the block which was just before this session. Now once this particular part is created, the fixed jaw part is created, it is going to look somewhat like this, where this particular side over here of 16 by 5, this is going to be an empty space. This is going to be a totally cut out area and everything else is very similar. So only difference over here is here we have a hole and here we have a cutout. Now I'll be taking a different approach in designing this particular part. Okay, we will not following a traditional design process. First of all, what we are going to do is we are going to click on open, and then we are going to browse for, let's say for example in D drive, benchwise assembly, we are going to browse for block. So we are opening the same part which we have already completed in the previous session. Okay, now once we open that particular part, we are going to click on file, save as. Now before I click on save as, I want to show you something. As we can see over here, the name of this particular part is known as block. Okay, so here if I click on file, save as, now I can specify a new name for this part and I can specify the new location for this part as well. I want to keep the location same, but I want to specify the new name although. So it will be known as fixed jaw. So I'm defining the name fixed jaw. So once you define the name properly, then I'm going to click OK, and this is how the name of the part is going to be changed. So as we can see over here, now the name of the part is known as fixed jaw. Now technically this is not a similar part as of the block. So now I have two parts and currently I'm working on the part called fixed jaw. So in this part I'm going to remove this particular hole, okay, which is there in the center, and also the sketch of that hole. So I'm going to delete my sketch number 3, or we can say right after the second extrude and the second sketch is what I'm going to get delete. Okay, it's what I'm going to delete. So once I delete those two things, you can see this is how it's going to look like. Now I'm going to create a new sketch, and that new sketch will be on the side plane over here. And here what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply create a triangle kind of a geometry. Okay, I'm going to create a triangle kind of a geometry wherein which this side and this side, or you can select the line one by one. You can click on the first line, then click on the second line and try to make the two lines equal. If you make a mistake in selection, press escape and start again. Now here I can choose equal, okay, to make the two lines equal to each other. And as you can see, the total overall height is 16 and the overall depth is 5. So I'm going to define the two dimensions likewise. So here I'm going to define the overall height as 16 and the overall depth as 5. Now obviously this is not in the center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this point, the end point of this line, and the right side midpoint, and I'm going to make it horizontally aligned so that it is properly in the center. I'll click on finish. I'll click on extrude. I'll change the direction of extrude so that it goes on the other side. And as I've told you, in extrude we have to make sure the section, we have to make sure how the section is selected, what section is selected. We have to make sure about the direction, okay, and then the length. So here I'll select until next, okay, and here in boolean I'm going to select subtract, or I'll keep it to inferred. So inferred means the software is as of now deciding subtract for me. I'll click OK, and this is how this particular part is also completed. And I know the modeling of this particular part was very simple, very fast. It is all because of the experiences what we are gaining throughout the process of creating this video, okay, or throughout the process of creating this particular session. So I'll save this file again. First I'll press Ctrl J, select the body, click OK, and then change the color. Last time I have selected this color for the geometry called pale indigo. This time I'm selecting the color called pale midnight. So I'm selecting the color, clicking apply, and saving the file. Once the file is saved, I can simply close it, and now I have ready with 3 files. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.